Clay and the way he be talking, I just be like, just please shut up. Like, shut up.
Say you doing better, I heard you. Now you run your mouth and say I ain't deserving. Pretty bitch, yeah, it's usual. Say no hard feelings, well it's mutual.
Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm gonna be talking about Love is Blind season 6 episode 11. I'm a little late, y'all, but we here, so yeah. This episode, since it was like, a lot going on with them meeting people from the pods and stuff, I'm gonna go in order. Sorry if y'all hear my heat, it's cold outside today, but I'm gonna go in order today of how the episode played out, not going by couple how I've been doing in the past couple of videos. But yeah, so this episode, it opened up with Trevor and Chelsea talking to each other. Trevor pretty much like had the same questions that he had for her in the pods, like if the orders was switched, would Chelsea have picked him instead of Jimmy? And she says no. And we already know why. I already discussed this. Chelsea wanted to feel like the winner to get Jimmy. It's just what it's given, because she had a way stronger connection with Trevor. And then she sat there in his face, just like Jimmy sat there in Jess's face and told him that he was her number one all up until the day of the proposals. So it was like, how does he go from being your number one this entire time to Jimmy propose? So it's just like, Chelsea, you can say whatever you want to say, but the math ain't mathing. It's just not mathing. But they end up having like a little flirty moment. Like, he was talking, he still had the bracelet she had gave him as a gift in the pods, and she was talking about she still had George, and he made a joke about sending them up. I'm just like, oh Lord. And Jimmy ends up walking his ass over there, which I was like, Jimmy, go away, because Chelsea did not come over there and bother you when you was talking to Jess. And we all know how Chelsea feel about Jess when it comes to Jimmy. So I'm like, she ain't interrupt you. Don't come over there and interrupt in her conversation. Like, bye. All right, y'all. So the next thing you know, after Chelsea is done talking to Trevor, well, she was still kind of talking to him, but their conversation was ending, and she was talking about, have you met our strongest couple yet? Talking about Amy and Johnny, and Jimmy gets mad, talking about something, you can't say that. I always do Jimmy and Chelsea voices like that because they are both so irritating. But he's feeling some type of way because she said they were the strongest couples, and she just like, Chelsea, this is just how like insecure she is, and how she just tries to make Jimmy feel okay and not be mad at her when she does something, because she don't want to upset him, because she don't want to risk losing him. She needs to do better, which we all know by now. But she just like, basically like, is she wrong? And then he's just like, basically still saying stuff about it. And so she's just going back and forth like, oh, like, I wouldn't say that out loud, seriously, and not be joking. And then she's like, am I not right to feel like that? Like, she keeps flip-flopping like she meant what she said, but now she got to pretend like she ain't mean what she said because she don't want to upset Jimmy. And it's like, girl, if that's what you believe, and it is the truth, stand on it. Like, who give a fuck about how Jimmy feel about it? Like, it's the truth. And that's why I was like, that was another thing that was irritating me too, because I feel like Jimmy, I already said this before, Jimmy and Chelsea be trying to put on. Like, I don't know why Jimmy has this idea of him and Chelsea are like the strongest couple, they're the best couple, and how he be talking about he kiss her more than anybody else kiss their partner, and all this weird stuff like it's a competition, when it's just like, just be happy with the person you with. You trying to act like it's a competition, and it's not. So yeah, I was just like, Jimmy, shut the fuck up. Like, please shut the fuck up. Like, let's not forget about you flirting with AD in the first meetup with everybody else. Like, please, bye. Okay, so next we finally got Jeremy and Laura finally having a talk. And Jeremy is just full of shit. Like, he is just full of shit. Like, he's talking to Laura, talking about he was 100% ready to try and work things out and blah, blah, blah. And You know, like, he didn't like how she was being rude when he was trying to ask for her address to send her flowers. And she's just like, baby, like, I don't need no flowers from you. Like, I don't need anything from you. And he was saying that she said one thing over text, and she was saying she said another. And she's like, I'm sick of you doing this shit. Like, pull up the text, because you keep trying to flip shit to make it look like something that is not. And it's so funny because this is literally the exact same thing Jeremy was trying to say about Laura, how she flip stuff and trying to make him look like the bad guy. But it's like, Jeremy, like, you just wrong in this situation. Like, you just wrong. And I'm gonna get to this part, but especially since we heard Sarah say that he told her that he was gonna break things off with Laura, it's like, why are you sitting here pretending like you were so ready to try it with her, but when she's not welcoming you with open arms and hugs and kisses the way you want her to, the way you want her to, you acting like you feel some type of way when he's sitting there talking to Johnny and Jimmy about the situation, when it's like, bro, like, you didn't care to begin with, because you never would have talked to Sarah Ann for that long and been out that late at night or to the next morning. Like, you knew that. Like, I don't think Jeremy did not think there would be a problem. You just not telling me you did not think there would be a problem. Then you lied to her face when she confronts you about where you was at, what you was doing. So it's just like, Jeremy, shut the fuck up. Like, you was not ready and willing to try to work nothing out with her. Like, you just was not. Laura was eating his ass up in this scene. Like, she was eating his ass up, because shut the fuck up. When they were just talking about the chain of events, Laura was just like, you know, like, this conversation is going nowhere. Like, I don't know what you thought you was gonna get from this, but she was just like, you know, just agree to disagree, like, whatever. And he was like, no, I'm not gonna agree to shit. Like, I disagree. And it's like, Jeremy, shut the fuck up. Like, this is what I be saying. Like, Jeremy is childish and petty. Like, shut up. Like, that is literally what agreeing to disagree means. That means you don't agree. So you're just gonna both agree that you do not agree. So it's like, why are you trying to be childish? Like, no, I don't agree. I still don't agree. Okay, y'all, so after this, we finally get the moment of Sarah and AD having a talk, and AD is confronting Sarah like, do you not think you were wrong for DMing Jeremy knowing that he was an engaged man? You know, like, basically trying to, like, see if the door is still open. And Sarah was saying, like, she didn't think she was wrong. Like, she didn't think anything was wrong with it. She thought the message was, like, came from, like, a good place, and she didn't have any ill intent. And AD is just like, okay, like, but he is engaged. You know what I'm saying? Like, so regardless of what you saying, like, why you sliding the engagement DM? Like, he didn't pick you. So why are you going out of your way to, you know, like, basically kind of intervene in their relationship? And Sarah is just not hearing it, because she's only thinking about how she felt and her intentions. But with Sarah, and she was like, she feel like she didn't fight for Jeremy, and maybe, like, she felt like she got to know him. So, like, basically his answer was like BS, and he didn't have, like, a good reason to give her as to why he chose Laura, pretty much. Which I talked about that in one of my other videos. I'm like, Jeremy literally said that Laura and Sarah were both his number ones. They were in the same boat, but Sarah was just a wild card. But I do think he had a better connection with Sarah. But yeah, so Sarah was like, she feel like she didn't fight for him. She didn't ask him, like, was he sure his decision, blah, blah, blah. And she felt like, you know, she didn't want to feel like a pick-me, but she didn't want to feel like a pick-me, but basically if she would have asked him that, she felt like things probably would have gone differently. And me personally, I just would not have done that. I feel like if Jeremy didn't pick you, like AD said, he didn't pick you. Like, you don't want to feel like a pick-me, or like be like begging him to choose you, or like feel like you convincing him. But that's pretty much what you still said and did, because you have to go and run at him and express to him your feelings. Once again, it's like, if Jeremy knew what he wanted and he was sure of his feelings and sure of his decision, you know, like, he would have took that step to come and approach her. You know, I feel like Jeremy was okay with his decision until him and Laura was not getting along. Like I said, Laura was a bitch from the beginning. So I feel like him seeing her message was just like, okay, let me go and double back because I'm not really feeling what I got going on over here. Like, that's how I feel like Jeremy kind of was, because if Laura would have just been straight, I don't think he would have been even worried about Sarah Ann. But I don't know. But she definitely did start getting like really defensive, and AD was like, you know, she was saying she felt like she's been interrogated, and AD was like, you know, if you feel like you've been interrogated, then this on you. And she was like, is it? And AD was like, it is. And Sarah Ann started talking about AD got some type of vengeance for her, and AD like, girl, I don't give a fuck, like, you ain't fucking my man. Like, and Sarah said they did not do anything between each other, they just talked, but clearly AD thinks otherwise. But she like, girl, you ain't if my man, I really don't care. I'm just saying I don't think that was right, the decision that you decided to do. But Sarah clearly can't take the criticism, because she's getting so defensive and talking about AD got a vengeance for her. But it's like, AD just confronted you and called you out on what you did. It's not like she was going over there trying to fight Sarah. So Sarah was all on defense, talking about this vengeance, and she actually liked AD and she don't want no bad blood. And AD was like, girl, like, it's not no bad blood. But Sarah was just about to keep on going on her own. So AD ends up getting up to walk off, because Sarah, like I said, she's on defense mode now. Like, AD doesn't agree with her decision, and Sarah can't take the fact that AD does not agree with what she did, pretty much. And I just feel like if Sarah feel like she ain't do nothing wrong, then she just needs to stand on it. But she's just like, she walks off when she's done talking to AD to go talk to Jeremy, and she's talking to him about the situation and talking about how she don't think she did nothing wrong, and now she feel like all these women are like, basically like, feel some type of way about her now, and she ain't sorry, and she wasn't trying to hurt anybody, and blah blah blah, and her feelings are valid, they deserve to be heard. She's just going on and on. And it just comes to a thing of, I feel like it comes down to intention versus impact. Your intentions might have been pure. They might not have been bad. They might not have been to hurt anybody or to break up their relationship. But then she also did tell AD in that conversation that if the man decides to step out, that's not her fault. That's the man's fault. And what did she say? Oh yeah, that means he must not be in the right relationship. And I was like, okay, that's kind of like retarded to say, because people can't be with good people and still do them dirty. So that doesn't mean just because someone steps out of their relationship, they in the wrong relationship. It just depends on the person. And that's why I'm like, I wouldn't feel secure as Sarah dating what's the boy name? Dating Jeremy after seeing how he just switched up on Laura. Like, the boy went out all night talking to you when he's wholly engaged. So it's just like, how you know what I'm saying? It's like, I was kind of understanding Sarah point, like, you wanted to get your feelings out, you wanted to say what you had to say, blah blah blah, but it still at the end of the day came at the expense of somebody else's feelings. And I don't feel bad for Laura. I'm not even gonna lie, I don't, because Laura is a bitch. She is a bitch, and she was just giving meager energy like a lot of the time. But Jeremy is dead wrong for not handling the situation better. At least if he was gonna go and he had the conversation with Sarah, he should have went ahead and been 100% open and honest with Laura when she first confronted him about it, instead of sitting there lying, looking dumb, and then acting like he wanted to work it out with her, and then getting mad, and all this flip-flop back and forth. Like, Jeremy just did not handle that situation good at all. He made it worse for himself. And that's why with Jeremy, I can't tell if he had bad intentions or not. I don't feel like Sarah actually did have bad intentions. Like, I feel like she was being genuine when she was saying what she was saying, but the way Jeremy went about the situation, it was just so sloppy. I can't just be like, oh, he just got a great character and had no ill intentions. I just can't believe that. As of right now, I just don't believe that. I don't. Oh, another thing too, I almost forgot, when Sarah was talking to Jeremy, she was like, she needs to worry about her own relationship, and baby, that she does. Sarah ate her up with that little line right there, because AD, baby, you definitely need to worry. You need to be worried about your relationship with Clay. You need to be worried about him go cheat on you, like his daddy cheated on his mama for majority of their marriage. That's what you need to be worried about. You need to be worried about if you even go get married, because Clay is giving you all the signs that he doesn't want to. All the signs. So yeah, Sarah at home and everything. I don't know if Sarah knew any of, like, if she actually knew any of AD business, but I'm just like, child, like, yeah. So we get the scene of Amy and Johnny finally talking again about the birth control, and honestly they still like came to no decision about it. Johnny's like he did more research, and the vasectomy isn't always reversible, so that's kind of like, you know, risky for them to do, and I think he's scared about the surgery part. And but Amy says, you know, she still is considering birth control. It's just she just got to make sure it's the right choice for her, and, you know, whatever. So honestly, we didn't get no answer at this point in the next episode's the finale. So I don't know what they gonna do about this birth control. I guess, you know, I guess it just don't matter. It just seemed like it's not a make or break for them, how it did seem at the beginning. I just think they love each other so much that they gonna make it work. That's just the vibes I'm getting. So next you got the tux trials and the dress trials. I don't really care too much to talk about this stuff. It was a couple of parts from them scenes where I was just like, these people just be putting on. That's really all I gotta say. Some of them just be putting on, like Jimmy, the way he talk about Chelsea, Clay, and the way he be talking. I just be like, oh, just please shut up. Like, shut up. Johnny, he just talks so good about Amy. He loves her. And Amy's mom was so sweet, so cute. Amy's whole family just adorable. But yeah, I forgot to say too, because a lot of people was like questioning if Amy and Johnny were being like sexually intimate, and I don't think they're having sex. I don't think they're having penetration, but I think they got something else going on, because Amy is always talking about the physical attraction is 11 out of 10, and I think that's what she means. Like, I feel like I'm reading in between the lines. I think I got a sense of what's going on with them too. But yeah, at the dress try on, AD irritated me so bad with all that crying. Like, AD, I swear, she just wants to say she married. She one of those types. She just wants to say she married. Like, it don't even matter who it is she's getting married to. She just wants that title of a wife. She just wants the title. I don't think nothing else matters to AD. She's just sitting there crying. She wants the moment. She wants the wedding. Trying on the dresses. But it's like Clay ain't even really treating her all that good. Like, Clay and AD gives this vibe of a platonic relationship. Like, they're just friends that be fucking. Like, that's the vibes that AD and Clay give me. Like, just friends that be fucking. Friends with benefits. It's just the vibes that they be giving, you know? It's just pathetic. So that irritated me, because I'm just like, girls, stop out of crying about Clay. Anyways. She just really irritates me with that. Like, she just been acting so dumb. I'm just like, my God. Like, anyway, you know. Okay, I want to touch on Jimmy and Chelsea's date, but before I do that, I want to touch on AD and Clay's date. Clay he just looks so nervous to me when AD asks him questions. Like, when she asks him certain stuff, he just be looking so just like nervous. Like, I just can't take him serious, because he's been giving her like so many red flags and so many signs that he's just been basically telling her without telling her, like, girl, I don't want to get married. I can't do this. So it's like when she says certain stuff, like when they're on a date, you could just see in his face like how like nervous and uncomfortable he looked. But anyways, moving on to Chelsea and Jimmy's date. Baby, Jimmy looked like he had a time on that roller coaster. I was just like, child, I wanted to get on the roller coaster and throw my hands up in the air, because he looked like he had so much fun. And Chelsea was like, I don't know how my lashes are still on. I was just like, girl, I bet, because I went it don't even got to be that windy outside. Like, my eyes, if a little wind hit them, they be watering. I couldn't imagine having no lashes on, riding on a roller coaster. Anyways, they sit down for dinner, and Jimmy ends up asking Chelsea, like, how she's feeling, and blah, 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 whatever. She starts talking about, you know, how through the process, you know, she's been checking in with herself, asking herself, can she see herself being with him for the rest of her life? And she was talking about how, you know, today she felt really, really good about everything. You know, she felt good basically where they were at. And, oh yeah, too. She was like, this is our last day before the wedding. Jim was like, is it? Just starts laughing like, oh, okay, like, okay, Jimmy. That was weird. But yeah, so after she tells him like what she was thinking and how she feels, he asks her like, are they getting married, because he don't really know like where she's at, you know, with an answer, like, you know, if she's gonna say yes or no. And it's just like, Jimmy, you know Chelsea want, like, we all know Chelsea want to marry Jimmy. Like, come on, like, let's be serious. And then it's just like, after she just explained everything she explained and said she felt really, really good, I don't understand like how he didn't get an answer out of that. Just like in them arguments where Jimmy was breaking up with Chelsea, and after he had told her he didn't want to get married in the last, what was that, the last episode, that he didn't want to get married, and she was like, so are you saying no? And I was like, is that not what he just said? He just said he don't want to get married, so why are you asking for reassurance? I feel like Jimmy's doing the same thing in this moment right now. Like, I feel like she made it clear like she's good with going forward with the marriage. But that's where the episode ends before she gives an answer. So yeah, I have already seen episode 12, the finale. So I'm gonna go ahead and try to get that to y'all ASAP before the reunion comes out, because like I said, I'm behind. But yeah, I can't wait to talk about episode 12, because I definitely got a lot to say about that. So yeah. So yeah, y'all, make sure that y'all are liking, comment, let me know y'all thoughts down below, and make sure you subscribe, and I'll see y'all next time. Bye.
Hello?